I have some of my good friends, Reagan and Benton here, and they have some awful, gnarly, totally fake cuts and scrapes. And so we want to talk about how you would take care of those cuts and scrapes. Biggest thing is, first thing they come in is make sure that you get them rinsed out. So you don't need anything fancy, you don't need hydrogen peroxide or Hibiclens or any of that fancy stuff. You just need good old water. So run it under a lot of tap water, dump a bunch of bottled water if you're down at the lake and you don't have tap water. Whatever you've got, just run a bunch of clean water over it. And then what you're gonna do is you wanna make sure that you get some basic antibiotic ointment, right? Do we want to use antibiotic ointment, Ben? Yes, antibiotic ointment. Put some antibiotic ointment on that scrape, on that cut. Get it covered up with any type of Band-Aid that you've got or anything that you've got that you can just cover it up to keep it clean. And that's it. One more thing that we should talk about with cuts and scrapes is they get a cut and scrape, it heals up. How do you keep it from scarring? So the big thing is that you can use a vitamin E ointment, bio oil, or actually Mederma. All three of those are shown to help reduce scarring. But even more important than that is put sunscreen. Scars will respond to sunlight differently, and so sometimes they'll get lighter or darker than the rest of the skin, and it makes them stand out even more and be more noticeable. So make sure you use lots of sunscreen on any healing burns or cuts so they don't stick around long term. My friend Benton had a burn. Benton, were you holding a firecracker? What happened? You were holding dynamite? Yeah, don't let your kids hold dynamite or that might happen. So we have a really, really bad fake burn from holding dynamite on our hand. So what do you do for burns? Big thing is if they're dirty, you want to clean them out. And so you'd want to make sure that you use water. Don't use hydrogen peroxide or Hibiclens. You don't need anything fancy. Just good old water, tap water, bottled water, whatever you've got. Clean water, clean it out. If the burn has a blister on it, which my friend Benton's dynamite burn doesn't have a blister, but if it has a blister on it, you actually want to keep the blister intact. Don't pop the blister, just keep it covered, and what hopefully will happen is that'll just involute down and it'll heal up on its own. It keeps it from getting infected if you keep the blister intact. But sometimes those burns will be so deep and bad that the blister will immediately slough off. In those cases, make sure they're clean. You want to actually pull off all of the dead blistery skin. So if he had dead blistery skin, we'd want to peel that off. And then what Grandma would have told you to put on your burns, it's aloe. Good old-fashioned aloe works the very best. Get aloe vera, put aloe vera on those burns, and then just keep it covered, and that's what's going to help those burns heal. And if it's a really bad burn, make sure you come in and let us help you out with it. Sunburns. We do our very best to prevent them, but sometimes they're an inevitability in the summer. And so we've got to make sure that we treat sunburns so that they feel better. So the big thing with sunburns is similar to your deeper burns is to use aloe vera. It works really, really well. We've got an example of some aloe vera here. You can get it at most of the drugstores and stores. Good old aloe vera, apply that. And then the other thing actually that can help is an anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen. That can actually help knock down a burn for kids and just also make them feel more comfortable while it heals. Next thing we need to talk about is we need to talk about bug bites. So of course we want to try to prevent them, but if we can't prevent them, we've got to make sure we treat them. The big thing that I see and I get called about all the time is kids will get big localized reactions to bug bites. They'll be red, they'll be swollen, and parents are always worried that they're allergic to the bugs. And that's not normally the case. Most of the time they will get big and red and swollen. That's part of the body's response to that bite. So the big thing is they can get really itchy, and that's super bothersome for kids. And so the best thing to do is to give them some antihistamines. You don't want to do Benadryl. Benadryl's not recommended for kids, but you can use Zyrtec, Claritin, anything like that. The other thing that you can do is use an antihistamine, a topical antihistamine or a topical anti-inflammatory. Anything like a Benadryl cream or an afterbite cream. Has your mom used these before? Do they help? Good, they help, yeah. Or even some like hydrocortisone cream. Put that right on the bite and that'll help knock down some of that inflammation and knock down that swelling. Benadryl cream, good. Oral Benadryl, bad. Another good thing is calamine lotion. That helps both reduce the itch as well as the inflammation. Can you guys give a big wave? Can we say, from all of us at Frontier, And Reagan and Benton, we wish you a fantastic summer. Stay safe.